This is a demonstration of the Connect Me Voice heads-up display tool, also known as the HUD. This is a powerful tool that enables you to view and even control everything that's going on with your company's phone activity. First, I'll show you the basic functions of the HUD, then I'll show you how to set up some of these functions as an administrator, as well as how to set permissions for use of the HUD. To start the tutorial, I'm first going to log into the Connect Me Voice portal using my extension. When using the HUD, you can either log directly into your extension, or you can log in as the administrator with no extension and then select your extension from the extension manager. Here, I'll log directly into extension 108. In order to access the HUD, you first must make sure that pop-up blockers are enabled on your browser. And now I'll select the HUD from the left-hand bar here. The HUD gives you an instant view of everything going on with each phone in your company. Now first let's take a look at groups. You can filter your view by creating groups of users, or you can view everybody. This would allow you to see all the phones in your company. And right now I've selected favorites, which shows me only those extensions in the My Favorites group. As you can see here, your extension is highlighted in blue. You can also see how many voicemail messages you have, new, urgent, and old messages. Right now there's a call-in process from extension 103 over to extension 108. You can see that 103 is the caller ID, and you can also see the start time of the call. Now let's say I want to transfer the call from extension 103 over to extension 120. I click on the icon on extension 120, which is the blind transfer icon, and if I clicked OK, the call would be transferred over to extension 120 immediately. Also, I could transfer the caller over to extension 120's voicemail instead of trying to transfer the live call. To do this, just press the transfer to voicemail icon, and this would go directly to extension 120's voicemail without first trying to ring their phone. In addition, I can transfer a call to an outside phone number, and if I did that, you could transfer it over to, let's say, your cell phone or to someone who's outside of your company, and you could just put the phone number in here and click on transfer. A new feature on the HUD is a supervised transfer with conference call. This feature allows you to put the current caller on hold while calling the extension of the person you wish to transfer to. Once they answer, you have the option of completing the transfer by hanging up the phone, canceling the transfer by pressing the pound key, or conferencing both parties together on a three-way call by pressing 0. Also, if you have prompted call recording set for your extension, you can press this red button to start or stop recording the call. Another feature we have is the ability to monitor calls on other extensions. To do this, you must first have permissions set for you as a supervisor, and the extension you're monitoring must be set to a monitorable extension. Here I can press the monitor button, and my phone would then ring with the call in listen-only mode. And then you could select options to conference into the call or to whisper to your associate only. Another option that's useful for outbound call centers is the SPY. This enables you to park your phone on a single extension and listen to every call made until you hang up your phone. Now, if you don't remember which of these icons does what, you can just mouse over the icons like this, and you'll see a description. Or you could also look at the legend below, and it describes each icon and what it does. Another new option we have now is a grid view, which I'll select now. And this presents all the same options, but in a grid layout. This can be especially useful for companies with large numbers of users. All right, now let's minimize the HUD and go back to the end user site so we can take a look at how to set up your groups. This is how you'll create the groups you've seen on the HUD and add members to these groups. So first we'll select the control panel. Now we'll select HUD, and we'll take a look at groups. So from here, we can add a new record, and let's call it Sales, and click on Insert. Now I'll click on the Members icon, insert a new record, and I'll select from the drop-down and click on Insert. You can then repeat this process for every new member you want included in the group. The next part of this demonstration is for administrators only. If you do not have administrative access and do not perform administrative functions, our demonstration is complete. If you have administrative access, I'll now show you how you can set permissions for access to the HUD and also access to call monitoring. So let's go back to the control panel. HUD, Permissions. We'll click on David Jones. And now you can select full access, or I can select to hide the caller ID, which will allow the user to see calls in progress, but not the caller ID that the person is on a call with. Or I can prevent access to the HUD for this user entirely by selecting no access. Another thing an administrator can do is limit who can monitor calls and who can be monitored. This option requires that you have the optional call monitoring package. To do this, I'll go back to the Control Center and click on Monitor. Here you can see who can be a supervisor, which gives them permission to monitor calls on the HUD or through the phone, and you can also see who can be monitored. So to make changes, click on the pencil, and I can check or uncheck supervisor or monitorable. And when finished, I just click on Update. So this concludes the Connect Me Voice Heads-Up Display tutorial. Please do contact us with any feedback or questions. Goodbye, and thank you for attending.